Good morning, students. Welcome back in the second online class of computers. Students, in the last class, we have studied low-level language and its two types, assembly language and machine language. Now, in this class, we are going to discuss high-level language and its three types, procedural language, non-procedural language, and natural language. But before that, I want to recapitulate the important points of assembly language and machine language. Now, machine language is the low-level language that I have told you in the previous class. And assembly language is also the low-level language, but it is intermediate between the high-level language and the machine language. Machine language is in the form of 0 and 1, whereas assembly language use special symbols known as mnemonics. CPU can directly understand machine language, so there is no need of compiler or assembler. But CPU cannot understand assembly language, so there is a need of translator. Binary code cannot be memorized. We cannot remember binary codes, but mnemonics can be memorized. In machine code differ from platform to platform. That is, machine language differ from computer to computer, whereas assembly language is the set of instructions that is same irrespective of platform. So let's start high-level language or procedural language. High-level language is the user-oriented programming language which require programmers to specify step-by-step instruction how the computer must accomplish a task. For example, students, if I am giving you the instruction that today you go to the post office, then I have to tell you the way to get there. So, high-level language are relatively easy to learn because the instructions bear a close resemblance to everyday language. Everyday language means English language. This language is also known as third generation language. Next, we discuss non-procedural language. Non-procedural language describes what output is desired. But we are not going to tell the computer that how to compute that output. That is, if I am giving you the instruction that today you go to the post office, but I am not going to tell you the way to get there. So this is the difference between the procedural and non-procedural language. Non-procedural language is more advanced than 3GL, that is procedural language, and it is easy to understand. Non-procedural language is also known as fourth generation language, that is 4GL. Non-procedural language is short in writing and it replaces many lines of code by a single line. So, it reduces the overall time, effort and cost of software development. So, the next is natural language. Natural language means a human language. It is a type of query language that allows the users to enter requests that resembles human speech. Students, you must have seen speech recognition in your smartphones, in which whatever you speak, your smartphone listen, recognize and convert it into text. Just imagine how a machine can understand your language. So this is the use of natural language in computers. This language is also called fifth generation language. It is mainly used in the field of robotics and artificial intelligence. Your Google Talk, your speech recognition are the applications of the artificial intelligence. And next, language processor. Language processor is the software program that is used to convert one language into another. Here, I want to discuss one example. Suppose, students, in your summer vacations, you go to some foreign country like Spain, and there you don't know Spanish. Then how you can communicate with the people of Spain who don't know English? It means you need guide who knows both the languages and can transfer and your language into other language, that is Spanish. So the guide plays the role of language processor for you. In the similar way, the language processor plays the role of guide for the computer. Language processor convert one language into other language, and here in computers, language processor convert user's language, means your language, high level language, into machine language. Now language processor are of three types: compiler, interpreter and assembler. Compiler and interpreter we are going to discuss in the next slide, and assembler we have already discussed in assembly language. Now next, compiler and interpreter. Both are the software programs, but compiler convert high level language into machine language as a whole program, whereas interpreter convert high level language into the machine language line by line. That is, compiler compiled the complete program at once, but interpreter execute the program line by line. So in compiler, execution is very fast, and it also produced object code which can be used again and again to run the program. But in interpreter, program execution is very slow, and whenever you have to run a program, it is interpreted again and again. So compiler requires more memory as it has to store object code, and interpreter requires less memory. In compiler, errors are displayed after the complete program is compiled. But in interpreter, errors are displayed line by line, and interpreter doesn't go to the next line if there's error in the program. When we remove the error, then only interpreter go to the next line. Next, students, let's have a quick review of all programming languages. Machine language, it is machine dependent, and it uses binary codes, that is 0 and 1. Assembly language used mnemonics, and it is also machine dependent. Whereas high level languages are machine independent, that is, high level languages are same for all the computers, and we can copy the program from one computer to the other computer. Next, students, the term software was given by John W. Tukey in 1957. In computer language, syntax means the set of rules that is used to write a program. Third, Lady Ada Lovelace is the first computer programmer in the computer history. She had given the concept of binary numbers. Next, beta release of software is used for the product which is still in development phase. Spacebar was the first interactive computer game. So students, here I am giving you one activity. You have to write a program in natural language how you make Maggie. I have explained the way to write a program in a hint so you can say it. So that's all for today. Thank you, children. I hope you have enjoyed this chapter. Thank you.